What's going on, people? So a while back I made a review on the LN106 Hilux, but I was watching back through it the other day and I've got to say I'm not really happy with it. I feel like I could have been a bit more informative, I could have given a bit more information, maybe told you a few more of the cons, and more so like that video was more or less just an afterthought. It was just something I threw together because I thought it might be useful, but I wasn't really thinking, okay, how else could I help the person watching this video? So my aim with making this video is to give you a no nonsense, no sugar coated, tells it how it is, honest review. So that if you already own one of these vehicles, or maybe you're looking to buy one, or you know someone who is looking at buying one of these vehicles, this is the video that I wish that I had have watched before I bought mine, so then I wouldn't be in the dark about anything. So okay, so without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Let's start with the pros. So the pros, it's a Toyota. That's it. No, I'm joking. So anyway, the pros, obviously, like, they are a very simple vehicle. They are non-turbo, they don't have any electronic computers or anything in them. The most technologically advanced thing on this vehicle is probably the digital clock on the dashboard. And that's it. The engines in these vehicles are renowned for being quite reliable, and I can definitely confirm that they are. The only thing is you don't want to get them hot, because I learnt the hard way that heat and these engines do not mix. You know, I've seen these vehicles be run without oil before, and like I said in the previous video, don't run your engine without oil, ever. It's not a good idea. But I have seen some very silly individuals do it. Yeah, don't try it though. Don't try this at home. When it comes to bang for your buck, these things, you don't really need like a lot of lift and 40-inch tires. You know, all you need is a you know, a 2-inch lift, maybe some 31-inch tires, some all-terrains, you know, and chuck her into low range. She'll do pretty much anything you want it to do. Because I've taken this car up some pretty tough tracks, and it just does it. Like, you don't need all the fancy gadgety traction control stuff. These things have a limited slip diff in them, which makes them very good for, like, you know, rock crawling, kind of intense off-road stuff. I don't really go out for the challenge of full driving. I go out to get to a campsite or get to a certain place because I want to see it. So hardcore off-roading for me isn't really my cup of tea. Like, if I can avoid it, I'll avoid it, kind of thing, you know what I'm saying? And also, I just like the look of them. I think that they look the way a four-wheel drive should, but that's just a personal thing. It doesn't really affect the performance of the car. So again, that's just my personal opinion. I think that they just look good, and they look the way a four-wheel drive should look. So anyway, on to the cons. You can't have good without the bad. That's just life. Otherwise, there'd be no such thing as either. Everything would just be ordinary. Con number one, of course, and this is the big one, anyone who owns Hiluxes will know, they are slow. They are very slow. It is very hard to get them up to 100 kilometers an hour. But once you get them to 100 kilometers an hour, they can sit very easily on 100 kilometers an hour. They don't like hills. Of course, you know, if you are going along at a reasonable speed and then even just a bit of a hill climb comes up like this, it's going to make your speedo go whoo, and you can probably only go about 40 kilometers up a hill max. Everyone who owns Hiluxes will know they are slow, but the thing is, you do get used to it after a while. Some other people might. By other people, I mean like others on the road, but that's okay, you know. The second thing, they are old vehicles, and over time things will wear out on them, probably sooner rather than later, because they are of an age now where they're almost 30 years old. Some of them are already 30 years old, 31, 32 years old. My car is 30 years old this year, so yeah, my car's older than me. How scary is that? And the things you can expect, and now this is a video I wish somebody had made for me before I bought mine, is you can expect your alternator, your starter motor, your radiator, your engine mounts, all these things are inevitably going to fail. These are the most common things I've found that fail on them, and they tend to happen around this time. I used to have an LN65 Hilux before my LN106, and I had a sequence of events where, you know, my alternator went, starter motor went, power steering went, aircon went, radiator went, etc. And I'm starting to see that happen with my car now. They're very similar vehicles. If you like, I might do a review on the LN65. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments below. And I guess there's just not really much of a way to get around this other than that maybe you might want to, if you've got the money, spend the money up front and get all those things replaced, because I'll guarantee you, they are going to wear out. Maybe not straight away, maybe not this year, maybe not even next year, but they are going to break, and it's going to cause a lot of problems. Because what tends to happen is that when you have a vehicle this old, it'll be going fine for a while. Maybe first your alternator will go, so you'll go, I'll replace that. Then you start getting overheating, so you replace your radiator 2 weeks later, and it goes fine for 2 weeks, and then your starter motor goes, and it's just gets to a point where it's constant. So if I had the time and the money and the know-how, I would have spent that money up front and just bought all the parts and gotten it all done in one go, because then I wouldn't be constantly having one problem, then another, then another, then another, then another. And unfortunately, this is just part of owning older vehicles. But I'm not telling you these things to throw you off buying one or to make you want to sell yours, but rather just to show that this is a part of owning them. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. Once you replace most of these things, there's very little that can fail. The only other things that could potentially fail are rear axle seals. They're my worst nightmare. You know, front and rear engine seals, power steering boxes, they go, uni joints, stuff like that. It's just, they're more of the external components that tend to wear out over time, not actually the car itself. But eventually you get to this place where you've replaced pretty much enough that problems are very rare. They happen once in a blue moon. I'm at that stage now where things rarely ever break on mine. And when they do, it catches me by surprise. It's something I would never have considered breaking, so I'm still learning myself. But yeah, I just wanted to give you the best heads up that I could, because I find that there are a lot of reviews and videos on these cars, but no one ever tells you these things, that, you know, you can expect things to fail. So I'm making this video to just put it out there and to just save you some headaches if I can. And it sounds all bad, and you might be thinking that these cars are not worth owning after hearing this, but I want to assert the opposite. I want to turn around and say that they are worth spending that money on, because even if you buy a new car, you're still spending that money anyway. You know, you're spending money on interest from getting a car loan. You have to spend more money on warranty servicing and all that other stuff, and, you know, forget about it, you know. And then you're not allowed to put a spanner to it or anything because it'll void your warranty. It's like, you know, not for me. So yeah, I hope that helps you out, and hope I haven't thrown you off or anything like that, but I just wanted to make it no nonsense, no sugar-coated, no hidden agenda, no nothing. Just tell it how it is and hope for the best. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall see you again very soon in the next video. Bye for now.